statement. I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
We welcome you, Minister, as the President of the Security Council, and thank you for taking the initiative of holding today's meeting. We thank Mr. Fedotov and Ms. Adeniki Okonga for their briefings. We share the concerns about international criminal groups and their work on the high seas. At last, we haven't been able to stop the worsening spiral of illegal migration. There are increases in illegal trade in drugs and in weapons. The international human trafficking trade is also continuing. Today, in a number of regions, we're dealing with threats of sea piracy and robbery at sea. The Russian Federation is particularly concerned by recent acts of robbery at sea concerning commercial vessels and where Russian citizens have been taken hostage when they've been among the crew of these ships. President, establishing systemic work to prevent and to stop multifaceted criminal activity is certainly not easy. We welcome the efforts in this area of a number of UN mechanisms that have shown their effectiveness time and again. These include the regular sessions of the Conference of Member States to the UN Convention on Transnational Organized Crime and the Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice based in Vienna. Different aspects of preventing crime are also found regularly in the focus of the General Assembly and its third committee. There's also successful cooperation in regional formats, in particular in the contact group on piracy off the coast of Somalia, the Commission of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, and also the ASEAN Forum on Maritime Security and the Conference of the East Asian Summit on Maritime Security. There's also active work within the UN Office on Drugs and Crime, first and foremost by providing interested states at their request with specialized technical assistance. We welcome and support these efforts. The Russian Federation traditionally advocates strengthening the central coordinating role of the United Nations when fighting crime. We think there's a need to establish something under the UN's aegis that's independent of the contact group on the piracy off the coast of Somalia and also other regional fora that fight maritime piracy and crime. Namely, what we need is a universal interstate coordinating mechanism that has broad functions and a broad geographic remit. The foundation of this specialized structure would make it much easier to resolve a number of issues when facing new challenges and threats on the high seas. In the context of these threats, of course, the Security Council certainly has a role to play. In its discussions, a number of times it has highlighted specific aspects of piracy and robbery at sea in different regions around the world, and also issues of human trafficking in situations of armed conflict. Of course, close attention has also been paid to the close link between armed conflicts, terrorism, and various forms of transnational organized crime, including the illegal trade in weapons, drugs, cultural objects, and also illegal migration. The Security Council has developed a serious legal basis in all of these areas and has adopted a number of specialized resolutions and presidential statements. At the same time, there are areas where the potential and the prerogative of the Security Council are not so clear. If you will, there may be a range of questions that would arise if the Security Council took it upon itself to deal with the issue of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Or, for example, maritime environmental degradation. The tasks of the Council under the Charter are to work as effectively, contextually, and quickly as possible to react to situations that could destroy international peace and security. Having said this, we assure you of our decisiveness in wishing to continue to make a contribution to international cooperation on crime in this area to overcome pressing threats posed by transnational organized crime. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement.